Alright, Shalom, coming to you in the name of Yahweh, Basham, Yahushai, Basham, Rachakodash, double honors unto the apostles and the elders at Great Millstone, taught me his truth, and salutes unto the Arking that continues to push the word in truth and in sincerity. Now, might change, but for now, I'll entitle this video, The Lord Will Pass Through. Now, it's so-called January. According to this calendar that we are currently under, okay, it's January the 9th, and January is known as a very slow month financially. It takes a while to get to the end of January. Generally that's how it goes, but after January, the rest of the year just flies by, man. And before you know it, you can see on the calendar I've got up here, it's February, 28 days, and then right into March, okay? And towards the end of March, early April, is Passover season, man. We are living indeed in Pesach, man. You have the Passover according to when it falls on the Hebrew calendar, okay, which would line up around March, April times on this current calendar that we follow, or are under, I should say. However, despite the calendar time or appointed time for Pesach, society in general is in a state of Passover, because destruction is coming, and people will get destroyed and people get saved, namely the elect. So, as we're not too far, you may think, March, April, no, man, that time's creeping around. But aside from the time itself, generally, we're living in Passover, man, okay, because indeed the Lord passed over the houses which had the blood of the lamb on the doorpost and lintel. So I want to read this precept. I just had it up. Exodus 12:23. For the Lord Yahweh will pass through to smite the Egyptians, and when he seeth the blood upon the lintel and on the two side posts, the Lord Yahweh will pass over the door, and will not suffer the destroyer to come in unto your houses to smite you. And who was the destroyer? It was a death angel. Specifically, that death angel was Yahushai. Okay. Yahushai visited the land of Egypt and brought destruction, to the firstborn of every living, but of the houses of Goshen, because that's where the Israelites were dwelling in. In Goshen, there was no death, because the blood was on the doorpost, man. Okay. And let me get another precept. This is the book of Second Ezra 15 and 11, and it says, But I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof. Because America is spiritually Egypt. It's a luck here. America is spiritually Egypt, man. So it's gonna get smitten with plagues as before, man. Okay, the destroyer is coming again. Alright, and this time he says, I will not meet thee as a man. Okay, because this is the same destroying energy which was in ancient Egypt. Is the spirit of Yahushua, which is coming back as the kinsman redeemer to save the elect and bring death and destruction to the chaos that would be already going on. you know, the missiles being fired. Hence why the scripture says, if a fire already be kindled, what will I? Because Yahweh is coming to add fire to fire, man. You know. Yeah. And by the way, this deliverance, you know, which Yahweh Shai is gonna bring, is gonna be greater than the deliverance out of Egypt. There's a precept on it. I'm trying to remember how it goes. I think it's something like this. Yeah, here we go. Jeremiah 16 and 14. Therefore, behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh. There shall no more be said, the Lord Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai liveth, that brought up the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt. Alright, in fact, let me read the whole thing, get the whole thing up. Alright, that was verse 14. But it says, verse 15, but the Lord Yahweh liveth, that brought up the children of Israel from the land of the north, which is where America, and from all the lands whither he hath driven them, all the places were scattered. You know, you're gonna have a deliverance over here in England. You're gonna have a deliverance in you know, all around the world, the four corners of the world, man. You can name the countries, but you know, just say the four corners of the world, from all over the place. You know, the islands, man. You know, from the land of the north and from all the lands whither he hath driven them, and I'll bring them again into the land that I gave unto their fathers, which is what Israel. Okay, so the destruction, it is destruction, but the deliverance which the Lord is gonna bring simultaneously alongside that destruction he's coming with, right? It's gonna be greater than the deliverance out of Egypt, and the deliverance out of Egypt was spectacular. You know. Okay. So when it says, it shall no more be said, the Lord liveth, that brought the children of Israel out of the land of Egypt, meaning that this second deliverance is going to outdo ancient Egypt's deliverance, you know. So indeed we're living in a time of Passover, man, and therefore, you know, as the scripture says, seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought ye to be in all holiness and godly conversation, man. Alright, it's indeed a time of Passover. Anyways, yeah, man, sure.